1-800 Gambler.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers are coming home with a 2-0 lead in the National League Championship Series. They beat Milwaukee 5-1 Tuesday night. Another spectacular pitching performance for the Dodgers. This time it was Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Yamamoto delivered the first complete game in the Major League postseason since 2017. In 9 innings, he allowed only 3 hits and had 7 strikeouts. Milwaukee has scored only 2 runs combined in the first 2 games. Game 3 is Thursday afternoon at Dodger Stadium. First pitch at 3 o'clock. Major props to Atlanta Falcons owner Arthur Blank. Blank's foundation announced a plan to provide $50 million in scholarships over the next 10 years to the 4 HBCU schools in Atlanta: Morehouse, Clark, Morris Brown, and Spelman. Blank became an NFL owner in 2002 when he bought the Falcons for $545 million. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Tavis Smiley with a final word here about the upcoming Left Coast Forum on Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. As you know by now, our major keynoters include Professor Richard Wolff and Dr. Cornel West. LA Mayor Karen Bass will be there as well. But listen to some of these plenaries: fighting for Black students and educational equity, resilience under Trumpism, how to stay sane under fascism, the battle for democracy, what's at stake in 2026, healthcare under attack, fighting Trump's cuts, and building patient power from seed to system, building a local food economy in South LA, theater as a force for change, voices from Palestine. The Constitution is not self-reinforcing, racism on the left, building communities of care, federal changes and their impact on healthcare in LA County, Committee for the First Amendment, and more. The Left Coast Forum is brought to you by the LA Progressive, the Empowerment Congress, Community Coalition, Partnership for Growth LA, Southwest Voter Registration Education Project, LA Care Health Plan, United Teachers Los Angeles, Black Progressive Action Coalition, St. John's Community Health, the National Lawyers Guild, the Weingart Foundation, and more. Space is limited, so if I were you, I'd register right now at KBLA1580.com. That's KBLA1580.com. Your voice matters. Your presence matters. We'll see you there.
Try to keep it coming. Things ain't always smooth, but I'll be all right as long as I can find the good. Yes, I will. Somehow I know that I can make it. You seem to like my style. Don't you worry, I'm gonna be around a while. Yes, I will. I'm just happy to see you. Talk to me back in style again.
Live from historic Leimert Park in Los Angeles, California, I'm Tavis Smiley, and I'm so glad to see you and me back in stride again. Before we get started with today's show, let me invite you to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at The Real Tavis Smiley and get updates on X, that's formerly Twitter, at Tavis Smiley. By the way, should you miss any part of today's program or want to catch up on previous shows, you can always visit thetavisSmileyShow.com. That's thetavisSmileyShow.com, or wherever you get your podcast, and listen to the Tavis Smiley podcast version of this live program at your leisure. Another great show on tap for you today. We start with a special tribute to neo-soul icon D'Angelo, although he never particularly cared for that neo-soul label. No, he preferred black music, just black music. Michael Eugene Archer passed away yesterday at the age of 51 after a quiet battle with pancreatic cancer. D'Angelo was rather reclusive. Frankly, that's an understatement. He rarely sat for interviews. Indeed, it took me a minute, it took me years, in fact, to finally coax him out of his studio and onto the couch in my studio. But once I got him on set, like Jacob wrestling with the angel, I wouldn't let him go. At the end of the taping, I asked him to sit for just one more. He obliged, and I did not one, but 2 nights back to back with D'Angelo. And all I can tell you is that it was more than worth the wait. Here now, what would turn out to be D'Angelo's last in-depth national broadcast conversation. We started the dialogue talking about his singing voice, in particular, his falsetto.
What is it that you think or hope? What is it that your upper register conveys to the audience? When you're hitting that upper register, what are you conveying? What do you hope to convey with that?
Sensitivity.
Yeah.
Affection.
Yeah. Because your range is so cold.
Oh, thank you,
brother. But that upper register, though, that makes sense to me.
I'm a big fan of Prince and Curtis Mayfield and Smokey Robinson.
Yeah.
So I love it's something to be said about a man who can be very masculine but still display that sensitive side, and that falsetto does it perfectly.
Yeah. Prince has certainly been a guest on this program many times and love him to death, love him to life, in another way.
Absolutely.
Prince certainly has gotten his accolade. Smokey Robinson, greatest songwriter ever, perhaps.
Poet.
Smokey's gotten his accolade. Curtis Mayfield, to this day, still does not get the respect he deserves. What do you make of that? And tell me more about your fascination, your love of his gift.
Wow. I would have to agree with you on that. I think that Curtis, to the masses, is a bit underrated. It's funny because...
But not the songwriters, though. I mean to cut you off. The masses, you're right. The songwriters dig Curtis Mayfield.
Musicians, and surprisingly, a lot of white rockers, rock and roll cats really, really respect Curtis Mayfield. I mean, that's how me and Eric Clapton met, actually. We were doing the tribute for him right before he died. He was getting inducted to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We did the induction, and he wasn't able to attend. He gave his acceptance speech via satellite. And not too long after he died, I called Eric that night and, told him that Curtis had passed. But Curtis, the thing I love about Curtis so much, in history with the impressions and everything, but those songs, he was one of the forerunners with Bob Dylan as far as protest songs. And I think a lot of people sleep on that or forget that about him. Because he gets so known for the Superfly thing, you know. But wow, he was a great protest song.
We were talking to Sinead O'Connor one time on this program, and she couldn't stop talking about Curtis Mayfield. And he's kind of like, Sinead O'Connor loves. I appreciated her appreciation of Curtis.
Yes.
Which leads me to ask, as you I was just blown away with, I was thrilled is a better word, to see how well this project, Black Messiah, has been received around the globe.
Yes, sir.
When you travel outside of the country, what is it about your music, about that groove, that the audience internationally responds to? I know what our tradition is.
Yes.
But what are they grooving to?
I think the spirit of it.
Yeah.
More than anything. I think music is such a universal language, and it's one thing I'm learning. We've been, in the past 3 years, we've been in 5 different continents, and that was one of the things that I really see. It crosses all barriers of language and culture, and I think people really feel the spirit of it. And it's funny to me. I know both of us are from Pentecostal backgrounds, and when we're on the stage, that's exactly where we're going. We're going straight to church in a lot of the songs. And it doesn't matter where we go. We could be in Japan. We could be from Japan to Poland. And people will connect and feel that spirit.
Yeah. Somebody told me years ago that what comes from the heart reaches the heart. I think that's true of your music.
Absolutely.
They feel what it is that you where did you trying to take them? Since you went to the church there, I'm going to follow you to the doors of the church and go there. I know the journey that I have had to traverse coming out of that Pentecostal experience.
Yes.
And mine was so didactic. I don't know about yours, but mine was so didactic. And at times I felt so boxed in by my own faith. And that's another show for another night. This ain't about me, it's about you. But I am curious, though, as to what the takeaways have been for you growing up in that Pentecostal experience.
Yes.
When we hear your stuff today, what are we hearing? Just talk to me about your upbringing in the Pentecostal church. This is different than the Baptist church or the Methodist church, the AME church. It's a whole different thing.
This is a whole other world.
Yeah, when I first heard your music, the first thing I said was, this nigga have been in a black church somewhere and been in a Pentecostal church somewhere.
That's right.
So I was not at all surprised to find out when you hit that groove where you had come from. But just talk about that experience.
It totally informs everything that I do. When I go out on the stage, I bring that with me. It's the thing about everyone has their own way of reaching that place, but my way has always been that, because I feel like when I come on the stage with that authority from that source, there's nothing that can touch that. And a lot of times before we go out on stage, pretty much every time, we pray. Me and the Vanguard, we pray. And before we start a prayer, I sing an old spiritual song from way back in the woods, you know.
You're singing this in your prayer circle?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, we start off with a song and we get in the spirit, then we pray, then we go out there.
From the Mert Park with love, this is Tavis Smiley.
Hi, this is Dominique DePrima. Is your loved one at the hospital or in a nursing home? Have they developed bed sores, fallen, or worse? These are things your family members should be protected from. Bed sores, falls, and dehydration are almost always the result of negligent care. If this has happened to your loved one, call Zoran at Basic Law Group at 800-215-1234 or visit basiclawgroup.com. The consultation is free, and if they don't win, you don't pay. That's 800-215-1234 to reach my friend Zoran at the Basic Law Group.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month. LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication, report scams, and update your software. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information and fixes identity theft, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your protection today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
Put you on the spot. I got my old favorites. Like, give me. Not. I'm not asking you to sing unless you want to. Like, I'm just curious in terms of songs. Like, what might you be singing? Give me one of them old songs you reach back for backstage.
Old Ship of Zion.
Ooh.
This is a song my grandmother used to sing all the time. God bless her. Prayer changes things.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever I'm feeling that night, that's what'll come out.
Yeah.
I know it was the blood.
It saved me.
That's
One day when I was lost, he died.
He died on the cross.
I know it was the blood that saved me.
That's right.
How does that experience, that Pentecostal experience, show up in your music? When I hear it, it takes me back to church because, as you know, we could get into a song and it'd go on for 30 minutes.
Yes.
And the more you sing it, the higher the spirit gets, and people, the Holy Ghost just descends and falls, and everybody's moved by that in ways that is indescribable, that will scare people who ain't never had that experience before.
That's right.
So when I hear you lay on a groove and you will stay on that thing and stay on it, it just builds. It's like ladders. It just grows and goes. That's what I hear. But what's your assessment of your work and how that experience shows up artistically?
That's a good question. It's one of the things that I admire. My favorite artists that I really look to, like Prince, James Brown, Sly and the Family Stone, Parliament Funkadelic, George Clinton. That's what was happening to me, you know. And I think Prince is more in the lines of what we're talking about, like Pentecostal. So is Sly. And whereas George, to me, was more tribal, but it was still going to the same place, you know. Yeah, I just think it's about, yes, it's tribal, and it's instinctively where we come from as Black folk, you know. You just can't get around it. And I think when we're using music, modern music, rock and roll, rhythm and blues, to take it right back there. We're using it in the secular realm, but it's going right back to the source.
How'd you find the freedom, though? How did you find the freedom, to use your phrase, to use the gift that you've been blessed with to inspire people, to empower people, to uplift people, even to entertain people in that secular realm, when there might have been those who judged you in the spiritual realm for even hanging out over there?
That's right.
How'd you find that freedom?
My grandmother, I gotta say, Miss Alberta, because when I was growing up, coming up in the church, that's all I heard. And everyone would pull me to the side after the church service was over. I was so young. I started like when I was 5 playing for the choir. And after church service, you know, sister so-and-so or mother so-and-so would grab you. Don't you know, the devil gonna come at you, and they would point their finger at me like that. Don't you go out there and use God's gift for the devil. And, you know, kind of like trying to shake you up, trying to scare you. And I got it all the time as a kid. My grandmother never, ever, ever, not once, did that to me. Matter of fact, she encouraged me to go out there. She said, you go out there and do that. Bring that with you and take it out there, you know. And that frees me up right there. That freed me up back then. And it's encouraging because my good friend, Kamal Fareed, Q-Tip, always says that. It's like, we're not trying to preach to the converted. So it's about getting the message to the people that need it the most, you know?
Yeah.
So
we were talking about freedom a moment ago. The flip side of freedom, one could argue, I think, is doubt. And that doubt leads to fear, and then you end up being frozen by your fears. Artistically, have you ever had self-doubt? And if so, what were you doubting yourself about?
Yes, I think every artist goes through that, especially in the beginning when you're trying to find your own voice. And shortly after I got signed, it just started to dawn on me that I had something to say, and that Yahweh put something in my heart to share with the world. And once you have that conviction, then the fear don't mean nothing. It's just a thing. But every time I've noticed that I've persevered through that fear, and you come out on the other side golden. So it's just something that you learn to trust.
I think part of what's wrong with the world is that there are so many copies and ain't no originals no more.
Yes, sir.
And you have found a way to distinguish your own sound. You put your own song stylings on it. You turn the radio on, you hear a D'Angelo track, even before I hear that falsetto, you hear that groove, you know it's a D'Angelo track. So you've been able to find your own voice, but you started out copying somebody like we all do, trying to imitate somebody.
That's right.
Tell me about the journey of discovering your own sound.
That's the thing. I've heard this from actually my brother, who's my oldest brother, who's like my first idol. You know what I mean? He used to always say it. Imitation leads to creation. And like with Prince, you know, that was my first like idol. You know, I've heard somewhere else too, where if you're an artist, they say, don't seek them, but seek what they sought. So Prince, in my adoration of his artistry, me seeking what he sought, that led me to James Brown and other things that influenced him. There was obvious influences on Prince, like Sly Stone, George Clinton. So he kind of was like, you know, the key that opened that door, you know.
Yeah. I suspect you've been asked more times than you care to remember what took so long from the last project to this one. So I don't want to ask what took so long, because I believe that art comes in its own time, number one. And the flip side to asking what took so long is that something this brilliant only took this long. There's another way to kind of look at that, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to go there, but I do want to ask, though, how you navigate those years. As an artist, what are you doing in that 13, 14-year span when we're waiting on the next project? Artistically, are you touring? Are you writing? What's happening in that period that feeds your own artistic soul?
I'm always writing and learning. It's about growth. So I'm growing as a musician, as a guitarist.
But you did on this one.
Absolutely. You know, of course, I'm still growing and still learning. I'm always, you never want to be at a place where you feel like you've arrived. It's always an upward incline. You know, that's what a true artist is supposed to be doing, and constantly growing and finding new territories. Those are the type of artists that I love. Prince, you never knew what to expect from him, from one album to the next. Miles Davis was like that. You know, once you get used to one style, boom, he switched it and you know, switched gears on you. So those artists are very exciting to me, very exciting to follow their path, you know, and their journey. The challenge to that is, and you know this better than I do because you're the artist, I'm not.
The challenge to that is that artistically you want to grow, but your fan base wants more of the same. And not just your fan base, but the record company really don't want you to grow.
The record company.
They want you to put out the same thing you did last time that hit so hard.
That's right.
So you break out with Voodoo, and you break out with Brown Sugar, and you break out with, you know, Nichols ain't checking for that new stuff. They want to hear more of what you put out.
Formula.
Right. So how do you not get boxed in by your fans and by record labels?
Corners.
Yeah.
You gotta stay true to your heart and just not be afraid. It takes courage, because when you're doing something different, it was funny because when I first dropped Voodoo, a lot of people didn't like it initially because it was different than Brown Sugar, and you just have to walk with that conviction.
Yeah. When sales aren't the same from one project to the next, artistically you have followed what your heart, you know, is tugging on you to do. But how do you juxtapose those two things? Following your artistic, you know, muse, but sales might not be the same as they were on another project or what somebody wanted at the record label. Or does that not bother you?
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
That's what I expected. Yeah. If it bothered me, Tavis, I wouldn't have done it.
It all boils down to what you're in it for. What's your motivation? What's your true intent? My intention is to make art. And to I don't know, let the spirits, whatever's guiding me, let that. I just want to be a conduit of that. You know.
And with regard to Black Messiah, what are you a conduit for? What are you trying to get us to hear?
Black Messiah is, I think, the most, well, I know, the most, I guess, socio-political stuff I've done on record. And I think just in lieu of everything that's been going on in the sign of the time, it's like something needs to be said. And it's so few that's doing that right now. And that was funny to me because there's so much going on with the Black Lives Matter movement that's going on. All young black men and women just getting killed for nothing. And I've always been a big reader and fan of history, and I love, the Black Panthers and all that stuff.
Saw you hanging out with Bobby Seale.
Yes, sir.
That's a nice piece in the New York Times.
Oh my God.
I love that piece.
Oh, thank you.
We'll talk more about that, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just, I'm not trying to be, like a poster child or anything of the movement, but definitely a voice.
Yeah.
As a black man, as a concerned black man, as a father, as well. So,
how do you find the balance between giving your audience something artistically that they can appreciate, that they can celebrate, responding to that call to say something in a difficult moment like this, but not proselytizing, not being preachy? How do you find that balance in your writing and in the studio?
That's such a good question. And it's something that I think about a lot, because that's the one thing I don't want to do is come off preachy. So it's a fine line. But I think the biggest thing to do is to remember is that you're not on even though people might try to put you on that thing, you're not on the pedestal. You're not in the pulpit. You know what I mean? That you're one of the people. And so, as a voice of the people, I'm never talking to y'all. I'm talking about us. So you're including yourself in the whole thing that you're discussing. So I think that's a key in that.
You mentioned some artists who've had a huge impact with the work that they have done, a social impact, societal impact. You think that music is still pregnant with the kind of power to make a difference in this world the way it did prior to?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's the frustrating thing about it, because music never loses that power, but the powers that be, Prince would say, the gatekeepers, the bean counters, the execs, it's all about the bottom line. So they just want to make money, and they want to stick to a certain formula that's making that money. We all know that, but music can override all of that, all of the commerce side of the music business, and everything, not just music, but everything as a whole has become so corporatized, and the music business has been no exception in that. I think it's even more so, what I mean? I think that's the frustrating thing about it. But it's really in the hands of the artists and the people, the audience that's listening to the music. So
you've been in the game long enough now, at least a couple of decades. You've been in the game long enough now to have an assessment, I would think, of how the business has changed in ways that you don't like, and then we'll turn it and put a happy face on it and talk about the things about the business that you might like that are different now than they were when you first started. But what do you not like about the way the game has changed?
Well, the point that you made earlier about there's a lot of people just copying the same format. Back in the day, it was more about being original. Originality was the thing. Everybody who was trying to make it on their own terms, with their own sound, with their own message. You don't see a lot of that now. So I think that's one of the things I don't like.
Yeah. Is there anything about the business that has changed that you do like over these years? I mean, certainly technology has changed, but you such a stripped down sort of cat anyway.
Yes, very
it's
much
not like
so.
It's not like you need technology to do what you do. It's not in that way. But is there anything about the business that you like that's changed over these couple of decades? He pauses. Okay, moving on. I guess not. But that doesn't surprise me, man, because the game has changed in so many ways that people are just annoyed by.
I think that the technology, it serves for potentiality for a lot of new things. It's so wide open right now because, but that's it's exciting and it's scary at the same time. But you know, everything moves in cycles.
Yeah.
So as bad as it can get, there's still like this silver lining behind that. Because you know it's got to come around at some point. And I can feel it. You can feel it bubbling underneath. Yeah.
Helping to stretch your moral and political imagination. This is Tavis Smiley.
I'm Esther Dillard with BIN News Now. The sound of Chicago protesters after a chase involving federal immigration ended in a crash that spilled into a Walgreens parking lot. Tear gas was deployed after objects were thrown, leaving 13 Chicago police officers exposed. City officials condemned the agents' response, calling it dangerous and excessive. Maryland Congressman Kwasi Mfume has introduced a resolution of inquiry to demand answers on the Trump administration's purge of the federal workforce. The inquiry also seeks information on the president's threats to withhold back pay for federal government employees who are furloughed during the government shutdown. And celebrities are paying tribute to R&B star D'Angelo following his death at the age of 51. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Escape the confines of the city for the expansive beauty of the Santa Ynez Valley with a short 2-hour drive up the coast. Let Chumash Casino Resort be your destination getaway. Welcome to freedom. Go to chumashcasino.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers are coming home with a 2-0 lead in the National League Championship Series. They beat Milwaukee 5-1 Tuesday night. Another spectacular pitching performance for the Dodgers. This time it was Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Yamamoto delivered the first complete game in the Major League postseason since 2017. In 9 innings, he allowed only 3 hits and had 7 strikeouts. Milwaukee has scored only 2 runs combined in the first 2 games. Game 3 is Thursday afternoon at Dodger Stadium. First pitch at 3 o'clock. Major props to Atlanta Falcons owner Arthur Blank. Blank's foundation announced a plan to provide $50 million in scholarships over the next 10 years to the 4 HBCU schools in Atlanta: Morehouse, Clark, Morris Brown, and Spelman. Blank became an NFL owner in 2002 when he bought the Falcons for $545 million. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-550-9651. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and help eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-550-9651. That's 800-550-9651. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, KBLA 1580 delegation, your health matters to us. We know that information is power, especially when it comes to prevention and treatment. That's why we're proud to introduce the brand new KBLA Health and Wellness Hub. This online space is built just for you, connecting our community to trusted health resources, culturally relevant care, and even access to diverse clinical trials and emerging therapies. Whether you're looking for information on common conditions, mental health support, or just want to stay on top of your wellness journey, we got you. And the best part, it's all on our website at KBLA1580.com. Accessible, empowering, community-focused. So just go to KBLA1580.com and click on the Health and Wellness Hub icon, because knowledge is power and your health is everything. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Freedom is an endless meeting. So let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and D'Angelo. More now of my final conversation with him on the occasion of the release of Black Messiah.
Where have you come down, or you may not say anything publicly because you don't do much talking like this, but on when it comes to downloading D'Angelo's music, what's your?
I think that's another this thing.
Yeah.
But it's something that you just got to get used to. I think that, like I said, it's so wide open right now that I don't think anyone can put, record companies either can put heads or tails on what it is or what it's going to be. So in that respect, it's like an open canvas. But I love the stance that some of these younger artists are taking right now. They're not even signing with record labels, which to me is a good thing because it's putting the power and the authority back into the hands of the people that really belongs to, and that's the artists and the people. So that's the one good thing about it.
Yeah. We talked last night about the groove, and you can't be a D'Angelo fan and not just be in love with the groove, or if you love the groove, you'll become a D'Angelo fan. But I want to talk tonight not about the groove per se, but about the beat, which takes me to this relationship with Questlove.
Yes, sir.
What is and you have found? I mean, I'm not an artist. I just love music, obviously, and so I don't even know how to describe it. But there's something about that beat that you put your stuff over that just works and distinguishes your sound. Tell me about that. Tell me about that beat that just moves me so.
Wow. Pocket. That's what it's called. Yeah, that's what it's about. I think that's what it is. It's about the pocket.
We ain't talking hot pockets. We talking. Yeah.
It's pocket. We like to say there's a couple of things we like to say riding the track. We ride the track like a Cadillac.
Right.
Or we put it behind the beat. Behind, you know. And that's just blues. That's just come from a blues thing, you know. But I think that's what it's about. In the mirror, Questlove is so. That's how me and him met and connected because of that pocket. And I love his approach to the drums. He was like the answer to my prayer. I was looking for someone who understood. I'm a huge hip hop head. A lot of my origins is gospel and hip hop as well. So his approach to drumming was that of, say, like a DJ Premier or a great hip hop producer. Plus, he's a minimalist. You know, a lot of great drummers you'll see have 500 drums up there, you know. And he was one of the few drummers I saw that could kill with just a snare, a kick, a hi-hat, one cymbal, and one tom, and that's it. And there's something to be said about that. Like, there's something to be said about, like, Pino, my bass player, Pino. There's something to be said about a bass player who don't need but just 4 strings. You know, and you see a lot of bass players that got 8 strings on them. Just 4. You can't do it in 4 strings.
You can't do it anyway.
Right.
See, I was just a choir director. I directed the choir, but I was not an artist in that sense. But I just get so turned on by drummers and artists like Amir, like Questlove, who can play that behind the beat groove. See, I can do it on the one.
Yeah.
But that behind the beat, that thing is just it's just slightly.
Well, that's the thing. On the one that's what it is.
Yeah.
And as long as that one is there, you can do whatever you want to do around it, behind it, in front of it. Just come back in, you know. And it's pretty soon after a couple of revolutions of it. It's hypnotic, and your neck.
It is hypnotic.
Before you know it, your neck is.
That's exactly what it is.
You know what I mean? So
that's exactly the way it works. So talk to me about lyrical content. We've been talking about the groove. We're talking about the beat. We're talking about on the one. We're talking about behind the beat. Talking about lyrics and how important lyrics are to you.
Lyrics are very important. It's like a marriage. So to me, I don't know. I don't mean to be sexist about it, but to me, the music is the man, the bridegroom, and the lyrics are the bride. So that union is just it's important. But
That's not sexist. You okay?
Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't sexist at all. It was a good metaphor, is what it was. See, I asked that question because it might sound silly to some, but I ain't gonna call no names. But I know a bunch of artists who, if you listen to their music, you can tell what they care about, and lyrical content ain't it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? They may have the groove, they may have the beat, they may have the,
yes,
but they don't have that. They don't have the lyrical content is not so terribly important to them. And the thing that troubles me these days is that we just lost. I mean, melody is like non-existent now.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah, it's crazy. I'm a lot of people talk about it. I don't like to get into it because I don't want to seem like I'm being unfair.
Yeah.
To a lot of young cats that are coming up.
Right. You're entitled to your opinion, though.
Yeah, trying to make music. But yeah, a lot of people, that's what it is. It's like, it's not really music.
Yeah.
It's not music. Like you said, melody, it's non-existent sometimes. It could be about noise, electronic noise.
I had Linda Ronstadt, great artist, on this program one time, and she called it ear pollution. So I like that, Linda. Not air, ear.
Ear pollution.
Ear pollution.
That's nice.
Yeah, Linda told me that. We talked about last night, you're growing up in a black church, but that black church was situated in a city called Richmond. And I want to get a sense of, yeah, exactly. I want to get a sense of how growing up in that, how much growing up in that area impacted the D'Angelo that we know today, the surroundings. I mean, we all are the sum total of our experiences, but tell me about growing up in.
I grew up in South Side Richmond.
Yeah.
It's pretty rough. My parents split up when I was pretty young. So growing up, my brothers, I have two older brothers, and they're 5 and 7 years older than I was. So after my parents split up, I was the youngest, of course. I did a lot of moving back and forth from my father and mother. So I went to go live with my mother by myself, while my oldest brother was graduating from high school. So it was kind of tough, for me growing up in the city of Richmond. But, you adapt to your surroundings. A lot of people get it twisted because of my church background. I grew up playing in the church, but I wasn't no choir boy. So I'm a PK. So it wasn't that hard for me to get into trouble. You know what I mean? So
I hear that. I hear your point. Part of what troubles me, to your point, is that I see too many artists who want to project a certain image, and the image is not really consistent with who they are and how they grew up.
Right.
But for the sake of record sales, they want to project, you know what I'm talking about here.
Absolutely.
They want to project a certain image because that's what they are told they need to project.
That's what it is.
Exactly. Get the bottom line. But I'm trying to figure out then how it is that you again, you grew up in the church, as you said, you ain't a choir boy, and yet your music still has it's got that edge to it, but it ain't gangster. I mean, it's infused with love.
Yes.
When I hear it.
Yes.
How does that end up being the kind of music that you give us, as opposed to you having given us something else?
Like I said, I started out back in the day as an MC, so hip hop is very much in the nucleus of what I do. And it's all about being true to yourself, or at least the type of hip hop that I grew up with. That's what it's about. And to me, the strongest, most gangster, most revolutionary motivation on this planet is love, period. If you're really being pure about that, there's nothing to hide or be ashamed of, you know what I mean?
From California to the Carolinas, everybody's listening to Tavis. More when we come forward.
Tavis Smiley with a final word here about the upcoming Left Coast Forum on Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. As you know by now, our major keynoters include Professor Richard Wolff and Dr. Cornel West. LA Mayor Karen Bass will be there as well. But listen to some of these plenaries: fighting for black students and educational equity, resilience under Trumpism, how to stay sane under fascism, the battle for democracy, what's at stake in 2026, healthcare under attack, fighting Trump's cuts and building patient power. From seed to system, building a local food economy in South LA. Theater as a force for change. Voices from Palestine. The Constitution is not self-reinforcing. Racism on the left. Building communities of care, federal changes and their impact on healthcare in LA County. Committee for the First Amendment and more. The Left Coast Forum is brought to you by the LA Progressive, the Empowerment Congress, Community Coalition, Partnership for Growth LA, Southwest Voter Registration Education Project, LA Care Health Plan, United Teachers Los Angeles, Black Progressive Action Coalition, St. John's Community Health, the National Lawyers Guild, the Weingart Foundation, and more. Space is limited, so if I were you, I'd register right now at KBLA1580.com. That's KBLA1580.com. Your voice matters. Your presence matters. We'll see you there.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
See, love. I mean, I am always amazed by this, and it sounds like a simple enough point to make, and I suspect it is. And yet, I am always blown away by how inexhaustible the notion of love is when it comes to art. That true artists, all these years later, still find ways to talk about love, to write about love, to sing about love. It's such an inexhaustible subject. The challenge, of course, is to find your own unique way to do it.
That's right.
So when you go into the studio from one project to the next, does the stuff come to you with any sort of ease, or are you struggling to figure out what the next iteration of your work is going to be? How do you figure that out from one project to the next?
Yeah, you never struggle. Prince told me one time, I was finishing up Voodoo, and I was kind of stuck. Like I was almost done, but I was stuck at a little. And he told me, and I was on the phone with him. I was like, you know what? I think. And he said, don't think. That's it. Don't think. Thank you. It just takes a lot of that struggle out of it.
Yeah.
And so you just
be.
Yeah. You shut it down. Shut your mind. Shut all that down.
Yeah.
And just let it come through you.
Yeah.
You know. And if it's real, if it's pure, and if it's true, if you just stand true to you, it's gonna be good.
Yeah. You mentioned Prince's name more times. I stopped counting about 13. No, I love it. I love that between last night and tonight. And I haven't asked you as yet. I think I get it, but I want to hear it from you directly. What is it about him that made him the guy you couldn't get enough of? What is it about his music?
When I was growing up, when I was coming up, I started really playing at like 5 years old, right? So by that time, I think he had just dropped his second album, I Want to Be Your Lover. But up until then, my first musical loves were, I was just a little kid, but my first musical love was the Bee Gees. There was
there's that falsetto.
That falsetto, there you go. There was a local group from Richmond. They were a quartet group named Maggie Ingram and the Ingramettes. And the Ingramettes were the three sisters, the three daughters of Maggie Ingram. and they sing way up high in the high registers. They were awesome. And the third one was Walter Hawkins.
Ooh, come on now.
So
that's the love, yeah. That's
so
love,
yes, Love Alive.
Love Alive.
Absolutely.
Man. Good Lord.
So when I heard Prince, the first time I heard Prince, those three being my musical loves. So when I first heard Prince, it was like it was made for my ears. My ears were already trained to receive everything he was doing. The falsetto, just all of that. All those elements were right there.
So you don't mess me up when you mention Walter Hawkins now. So I got to detour just for a second. So if you've never heard Walter Hawkins, just Google him. Finish watching the conversation first. Then go Google Walter Hawkins and just listen to Walter and Edwin and Tremaine. Just listen to some Hawkins, and it will. I tell you, it will change your life.
Yes, sir.
It will fundamentally change your life. Listen to the Hawkins out of Oakland, California.
Oakland.
Tragedies are commonplace, all kinds of diseases, people are slipping away. The economy's down, people can't get enough pay. As for me, all I can say is thank you, Lord, for all you've done for me. Folks without homes, living out in the street, and the drug habits, some say they just can't be. Muggers and robbers, no place seems to be safe, but you've been my protection every step of the way. I'm gonna say thank you, Lord, for all you've done for me. Yeah. It could have been me, outdoors, no food, no clothes, or just alone, without a friend, or just another number with a tragic end. But you didn't see fit to let none of these things be. 'Cause every day by your power, you keep on keeping me. And I wanna say, oh, you done for me.
This is getting good. Yeah, man. Tavis Smiley continues when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach, transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal, prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada. Member FDIC.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
And the top-rated African-American talk show host in the nation, according to Talkers Magazine. You're tapped in with Tavis Smiley right now.
Have you ever had thoughts? It's too late now. But have you ever had thoughts about being anything other than the artist that you are? Are there any other domains, any other journeys?
I love movies.
Yeah.
Love movies.
So that means you'd be what? I mean, a lot of roles. Are you actor, director? Like director.
Yeah.
So you could see yourself doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 Big time.
Speaking of movies, how did, going way back now, how did videos, one video in particular, change your life for the better, for the worse?
Well, in particular, let's talk about Untitled, because that was the one that kind of took it there. It was all good. I think a lot has been made about me reacting to, or me, being negative to the reaction of that video. And too big a deal has been made out of that. And it really wasn't that as much as it, I think it would bother me a lot of times live when we were touring for Voodoo. And I had this amazing band, the Soultronics. Questlove was the drummer. Pino, of course, I had the incomparable Roy Hargrove on trumpet and Frank Lacey on trombone. Just an outstanding band. And we were doing this amazing stuff musically. And a lot of times the crowd or a lot of the ladies were just screaming, "Take it off." And, I kind of felt like, for lack of a better thing, like a male stripper, you know what I mean? Or I expected to be that, you know what I mean?
You felt objectified.
Objectified. I mean,
which is what women feel every day.
I wasn't mad at that.
Yeah.
But
that's funny.
I think that I'm a serious artist.
Yeah.
So it's a fine line to walk that. But I accept that. I mean, this is the realm that we're in. Yeah. So
we're back to that conversation we had earlier about oftentimes fans unwittingly even trying to box the artist in. And that's just not who you are.
Right.
You on to something else. We did that. We on to the next.
That's right.
I get that.
There you go.
I get that.
Yes, sir.
What do you love most? I got 2 minutes to go and I can do this for another night. What do you love most about performing live? Because when I see you on stage, it's like that's like heaven for you. That's what it looks like to me. It feels like to me.
You got it right, man. And the business, a lot of times the road, it can be very, very stressful and hectic, and there's a lot coming at you. But that's the one place, that's the one time when I know I'm in the driver's seat. I'm driving.
You ride the track.
I'm riding it, and I'm riding the track like a Cadillac. And the band, I'm playing this band, this amazing band with these amazing musicians. That's the most freeing time. That's the time I feel the most free.
Yeah.
And the most, I would say, not in control, but just like I'm driving the car.
Yeah.
And he drove it well. Michael Eugene Archer, better known to us as D'Angelo, passed away yesterday at the age of 51. The legacy lives on.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Esther Dillard with BIN News Now. The sound of Chicago protesters after a chase involving federal immigration ended in a crash that spilled into a Walgreens parking lot. Tear gas was deployed after objects were thrown, leaving 13 Chicago police officers